Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and yes, continuing on with the review marathon of classic live-action Disney films, and that's right, we now come to this one. Definitely one of Disney's gems, The Love Bug. Yes, The Love Bug. We're now finally talking about this one. I love this movie too. This came out the same year as Blackbeard's Ghost, 1968, so you had two live-action Disney films that both starred Dean Jones. Yep, Dean Jones, he was a busy man, and with Disney, Disney legend, of course, definitely. This movie is fantastic, and with its cast of characters, like, Dean Jones, he's Jim Douglas, Michelle Lee, Jim's first love interest, Carol Bennett, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And the one and only lovable actor, late legendary actor, Buddy Hackett, as Tennessee, and Jim's friend, and roommate, because I forget what they do exactly, and the place that they live, like they do something, it has to do something with cars or something, and I guess Tennessee, he like repairs cars, I don't know, and he has a good friendship with Herbie, and Tennessee's the one who gives Herbie the name Herbie, you know what I'm saying? And with the rest of the characters, like, oh yeah, the main antagonist, Peter Thorne, I'm pretty sure, yeah, played by David Tomlinson, who previously was Mr. Banks in Mary Poppins, and now he's playing kind of like a jerk in this, a villain. Yeah, that's kind of funny, but he's a lovable, but he's great in this, he fitted the role pretty good, especially because with his facial expressions and his shouting, he's fantastic. And his sidekick in this, I completely forgot he's in this. I at times keep forgetting he's in this. Joe Flynn, yeah, because he's Havershaw, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's like his he's like Peter's sidekick, right-hand man or whatever. And some of the other characters, oh yeah, because with its fun, and I'll talk about the characters as I'm talking about the funny moments, its funny moments are great, one part is where Jim and Carol, they're out on Herbie, and, Jim has no control of Herbie, he keeps going fast, at one point, because they make their way to this drive-in restaurant or whatever, and this waitress, Car Hop, that's the Car Hop waitress, I guess you could say, played by Iris Adrain, I'm pretty sure, who previously was in another Disney film with Dean Jones in That Darn Cat, and she's in this, and what's the rush, Tiger? We got all night, and just, she's pretty good. And actually, in that scene, because as Carol's trying to get out of Herbie, and Herbie, because he's got his car doors locked, and she looks, Carol sees a couple of hippies and, says, "Can you help me, please? I'm a prisoner. I can't get out." And the one hippie, the glasses says, "We all prisoners, chickie baby. We all locked in. A couple of weirdos, Guinevere." And actually, that hippie who was talking, the only one who was talking, that's actually Dean Jones, because I read this, that Dean Jones was up for, wanted to play the part of the hippie, and the director turned him down, but after, I guess Dean Jones convinced him as he played him or whatever, that, it convinced the directors, So that's Dean Jones, I guess you say that's Dean Jones' secret role, besides Jim, his other secret role, second secret role, I guess you could say, I don't know. But the rest of its funny moments, oh yeah, even Wally, another great member of the Disney family, Wally Bogue, who had done some stage performances at the Disney parks, comedy, whatever, he made a cameo, and as the first time Jim is riding Herbie, and there's one part where Herbie can't see what the words say on a billboard or whatever, because it's not showing, it's the other way, if you get what I'm saying. It's not facing his direction. Herbie freaks out, and, at one point almost hits a car, Herbie drives, and Wally sticks his head out, and, "What's the matter? You from LA or something?" That's Wally, so. By the way, the music in this is fantastic. The late, great George Bruns, was right there with many of the great Disney composers. His music, of course, is great in this, from Herbie's theme, just, you name it. Some of the other characters, like, oh yeah, because in Blackbeard's Ghost, I mentioned Gil Lamb. Yeah, because he's in this too. He's a policeman as Jim and Carol and Herbie, they're walking and such. And at one point, the policeman's car drive straight into like a pond or something, and a bunch of ducks get in there. Just it's funny. And the relationship between I can't remember if I mentioned this during the review, but the friendship between Tennessee and Herbie's great. The races that happened, of course, and even one point, because this is kind of a bit shocking and sad, I guess you say, like, a car, which being Herbie, trying to commit suicide. That's crazy, and also sad. I mean, Herbie is alive. Just, you get the idea. And Jim trying to save him and such, Even at one point when Herbie, like, runs away and just drives fast and he accidentally hits into a shop or something. And another character in this, and who joins in with the racing team, Jim and Herbie, Carol and Tennessee, Mr. Wu, played by Benson Fong. Yep, the Chinese guy, and like he joins in and helps them with the race and such. And the final racing sequences are great. Like, at the end of like the second to last race, as they make their way to the finishing line, Herbie has a big wheel on him and such, And I love this part because Herbie goes at it, like literally is chasing David Tomlinson's character, Peter, because after, like, Peter punched Jim, and Herbie just loses it, he gets pissed at him, he chases him, and then the final race, like, oh yeah, even one part, in the second to last race, Peter ends up because he's in the race too, a bear gets in his car, which is funny, not only that, but the last race, like, Herbie splits in half, I'm sure, as we all know. Herbie, of course, does win. I think it's Herbie's back, where Tennessee is. So they do win. And another thing I forgot to mention, Herbie jumping and hopping in a pond, in a lake or something. I'm sure we know that scene, too. And at the end of the film, because all ends well, now that car shop or whatever that was run by Peter Thorne, now run by Mr. Wu, and I think, Tennessee also works there as well. And for, like, Peter and his right-hand man, like, Haver Shaw, played by Joe Flynn, as I said, they're, like, putting oil or just something on them, and just, like, they go at it, like, squirting oil and such, and another thing is, Jim and Carol, they get married, and they go off on their honeymoon, they ride in Herbie, and I like that Tennessee gets the last line of the film where he says, "Bye, Herbie." I could barely do a decent impression of Buddy Hackett. Buddy Hackett is like this, and he voiced Scuttle in The Little Mermaid, So, yeah. And the music ends with Herbie's theme, da-da-da-ra-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's such... George Bruns's music is great, and with him writing the Herbie's theme, just amazing. The Love Bug, I have to say, it's one of Disney's gems, without a doubt, okay? And another thing I forgot to mention is you also have Chick Hearn, who is an announcer. I think in real life, he was an announcer as well. Just looking at the other cast of characters, but yeah. But anyway, so The Love Bug, I give it 10 out of 10, obviously. The Love Bug, it's one of Disney's gems. I love it. It's fantastic. And you guys let me know what you think of The Love Bug. If you enjoy it, just leave comments as always. So, with that being said, again, well, 10 out of 10, as I said, for The Love Bug. Hope you enjoyed my review of The Love Bug. More reviews coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward. And I'll see you guys in the next video/review. And up next, another film that this time stars David Tomlinson. Let's just say it has to do with riding on a bed. Stay tuned for that. Take care, and peace out.